Aha, hello fine students and people, how are we doing? Oh, muted. That doesn't really matter, I'm pretty sure you can hear me. Keyword of the day then, we'll go for teabag today because, well, I have one. Some highly pretentious tea that I'm drinking that comes in egregious, highly unenvironmentally friendly packaging. That looks quite disgusting in the foreground there. So teabag in the chat please to assess the delay and prove that you can hear me. What mic am I using? I'm using this mic down here. That's cool. So that should be good. My lip sync will be as good as it gets on Zoom. Good old Zoom. Gotta love Zoom messing up the lip sync. And then I'm waiting here in our Zoom room for any protégés, thanks Perceptual, who want to join the session for this evening. If they don't, then I will show you a little bit about what I'm doing and go from there. But it would be great if they will. I know Musu or Greg won't be here tonight because it's a little bit early for him in Brisbane. I think I shall don the glasses, save the eye strain once I've give them a clean. Hello Marco, hello, who else do we have? Mariano, welcome. Where are you in the world, everybody? Good to hear from you. I'm sure Perceptual, you're in the same place as you always are, but other people that are new. And yeah, let's dive in. A second delayed audio. The audio will be delayed just a second, yeah, from the video, I'm afraid. Not much I can do about that. So I can improve it slightly by giving you this video feed instead. But regardless, it's going to be a little bit delayed. Whoa, too much Ben on the screen. This is no fun. Anyway, I'll leave Zoom open and wait for people to come in. I will just re-provide the Zoom link. It's here. So for those people who are on our protégé tier, that sounds like a French word that I can't pronounce, that is the link that you need. Oh, okay. So you're excited and sad about today's stream. It's at the same time as Unity's Pro Talk. Okay, well, I'm sure you'll better split your attention and take two things in at once, perhaps. I don't know, Perceptual. That would be cool. So I'm hoping somebody will join us on that Zoom. It needs to be somebody who's one of our protégés, one of our $25 a month mentees. Been a bit quiet. I've had a bit of trouble getting a couple of those guys over from Twitch. They didn't seem to move over quite as fluidly as Perceptual and others did. So that's that. All right, well, I'm just going to talk about what I'm doing at the moment, I think, and then hopefully people will come in. So I'm going to minimize this screen down a little bit and sort things out. So there we go. Okay, so one of the things I'm doing is converting our Godot projects for the Godot engine course. I'll give you a link to that. Over into C#. Having a bit of trouble doing it, to be honest. Some technical issues, but we will get there. Oh, you're hearing another audio from 30 seconds ago. That's not very good. Just trying to see what that could be. Give me 1 second. I'm just scanning for things that could be doing it. You know what? It could be Chrome. I'll just close Chrome. I'll just reopen the chat. It's probably Chrome, to be honest. It was probably the YouTube chat, so I'll sort that out. Give me just a second. Thank you for telling me. There you go. Meet the Mentors live. Here we are. As long as that is muted, I think we'll be good. So many things to go wrong with streaming, and I think I left that on in the background. So thank you for telling me that. That should solve that. Pop out. So we're still experimenting with streaming. It's very much in the early days for us. It has its pros and cons, but this Meet the Mentors is what do you call it? Weathering the test of time and working pretty well, although tonight's seeming very quiet. So we'll see how that goes. Okay, I'm back and I shouldn't have an echo. So yeah, one of the things I'm doing is converting Jan's GD script in the Godot course, and I will give you a link to that course, awesome engine, over into C#. We're going to get this section done, then we'll decide exactly what the pattern is from there. And then the other thing that I'm doing is, once I finish that, is to start looking at progressive web apps, a way to get your apps out there much, much quicker. So that is a whole new set of skills for you guys, stuff we've never looked at before. HTML, JavaScript, and CSS. So, or this is CSS, this is JavaScript. Again, as always with our stuff, we're going to start completely beginner, start completely simple, and then build it up from the ground up. And this will allow you to deploy apps to your mobile without the App Store, without paying the App Store or anything, without Xcode, without Android Studio, just websites that act like apps, particularly on mobile. Okay, so guys, any questions? Let's just start taking a few questions in the chat while I wait to see if the first mentee shows up. If we don't have a mentee sharp by 20 past, then I'm going to assume that they're not showing up today, and we'll just talk about the next one, which is scheduled for next Tuesday. I think later on, Sam's going to be on the next one to answer Greg's questions about the RPG. So if you've got any questions, slam them in the chat. I will go to all chat just to make sure we don't miss anything, and I'll be happy to hear. Not that it looks like anybody's got any questions, but we shall see. I'll be running an AMA shortly again. I do random AMAs. They seem to be a lot busy than even the Meet the Mentors streams. So. If you don't ask me any questions, guys, I will have to go and start the next stream. I'll start talking about when the next stream is, just because in case this one does turn out to be too quiet for its own good. So the next Meet the Mentors is episode 11. It's not actually showing up on the YouTube homepage yet because it's just over a week away. But it's a couple of hours later than this on Tuesday next week. So if you're one of the mentees, then keep an eye out for that. But in the meanwhile, am I even in the right chat? Let's have a look. Can't be that quiet, surely. This one, it does turn out yes, it can. I'm in the wrong chat. Okay. Here we go. Okay, now let's get to some of these questions. Fantastic. You have the stream paused. You can hear the other audio. You shouldn't be able to now. Thank you for that. Can you hear the echo? Again, I think I've fixed that. Prefab. Oh yeah, so the new nested prefabs in Unity. I'm sure that will be very useful. That fixed it fine now. When can I expect 3D content in the Godot course, Preetham? Ask Jan, but it comes after, I think immediately after Heismeisters. Heismeisters, I suspect, will take Jan another, basically, to under-promise, I would say, Preetham, in October. It would be around about the right time. So October for 3D content in the Godot course. Why don't I have a Unity coffee cup? I have an Unreal one. I don't have a Unity one for whatever reason. We should have a GameDev.tv one. That's what we should have. Perceptual's asking about he'll be doing an RPG stream in a week's time. Yes, so Perceptual, what we're going to try, the RPG streams, the engagement on them is so low that Sam is going to try something slightly different that I think will suit him better. Sam's going to be recording an update video for you in the same time. It takes him about 2 hours to prepare and lots of P's here, to prepare and perform a stream. He's going to instead spend 2 hours giving you like a much more condensed and concise 15-minute update video, which he'll put on YouTube and you can watch at your leisure. That means, of course, you don't get immediate feedback on your questions. It'll be in the chat below. But in return, you get a much more condensed and boiled down survey of what he's done that week. So let us know how that goes, basically, and give us your feedback on that. So, whose chat is not working, Honaz? Mine should be. Oh, I see. This is delayed. Yeah, my chat, because it was the chat from the wrong stream somehow. I'm not sure how I managed to bring up the chat from the wrong stream, but I did. Nice pictures of a mountain in the background. Kind of hanging around here on Zoom, as I said, just waiting for the protégés to arrive, but I think we're not getting any tonight, so it might be a very, very brief stream indeed tonight. So what are you guys working on? Just tell me a little bit about what's going on in your lives. I'll see if I can help or move you on with anything, and then yeah, I'll go back to what I was doing. Streaming's fun, but yeah, need the protégés to turn up, or it's not going to be so much fun. You're welcome, Preetham. Hopefully that answer was good. Yeah, chat's fine now. Should be. Absolutely should be. Yeah, they're a bit of a dead loss, really, if these dudes aren't going to turn up. Oh well, that's all right. It's their prerogative. It's very kind of them to support us. I think that if they're not going to turn up, then we will just stop this stream. And the next one is next week. I'll just get you the exact time. It is Tuesday next week at 9 p.m. So 2 hours later than this next week. It'll appear on our YouTube homepage in 2 hours' time. Yeah, so Perceptual, it'd be good to, we will commit to doing some continued live interaction. We're just feeling the ground with this. Yeah, Godot 3.1 will be amazing. We are going to be, well, we are now platinum sponsors of Godot. I can show you that on their website, actually, which is quite good fun. So Godot, no, not Google, that's something completely different. GodotEngine.com. So just today, actually, I think we've down here as platinum sponsors. So we're really supporting Godot, which is fun. And we're going to be on the launch screen of Godot soon as well. So that'll be nice for them. So you're preparing for a MET exam, Preetham. Engined exam for Eng and also started at the 2D course. Good luck with the course. RPG Part 2 will start shipping to Udemy. Unity, Jack, not entirely sure. Well, they're working on it flat. Well, Sam is now working on prototyping it flat out. Already built the dialogue system and worked on the saving system. So it's inventory, questing, dialogue, and saving are the things he's after. Motoring through it pretty well. I think that they're going to get the prototype fairly complete. So it will, I don't want to put a date for them, but I suspect in October at the latest, but it could start shipping sooner than that. It's a question of getting Rick finished on the Unity course and Sam finished on the prototype of the RPG, and then they'll both be shipping out content as fast as possible. So, is there a Trello link for RPG2? No, actually, there is not a syllabus board yet, and that's a good idea, BitGamey. I will suggest that Sam and Rick start putting a board together for that after this. Any plans on covering connected games with Google Cloud once it's out? Mark, my next step with multiplayer is going to be teaching you how to do it through web games, because I want to avoid all the complexities of the engine and of the app stores and all that certification, and just go for simple, hyper-casual experiences in app-like experiences on mobile. So that'll be our next move, and then as it settles down, we'll start thinking about looping. Well, I'll start thinking about looping back to Unity and what we do about multiplayer. We certainly need to cover Unity multiplayer in terms of shipping to the native apps at some point, probably next year now. So yeah, we'll let it settle down and then we will probably cover it. Hey Arlak, nice to have you here. Sam, you're welcome, supporting Godot. BitGamey, I've answered your question. So yeah, cool. Good questions, guys. Not an AMA, so I'm very aware that as soon as anybody dives on Zoom, if they do, one of the proteges, I'll be switching all my attention to them. But as they're not here, I'll continue to take questions until, say, 20 past, another 9 minutes or something like that. So, yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty excited. PWA's Progressive Web Apps. They need a better name, but they're pretty cool. Why do people use ZBrush, considering Blender already has sculpting? Oh, okay. Look, people have their preferences, right? ZBrush is very good. It does ZBrush, Substance Painter, and things like that. They do some awesome things for you. You can have a surface and kind of just like run water down them, and let it rust, or you can just lots of cool stuff in there that you could. There's higher level tools in those things. ZBrush for sculpting, Substance Painter for 2D texturing. Blender can do a lot of that stuff, but everybody has their preference, and some of these tool sets have got some really powerful ecosystems around them. So there's no one right thing, right? Just because something's free doesn't necessarily mean it's the best choice. Remember, time's expensive, so if you can even get especially with a big team, if you can even get a small speed improvement, it's going to be often very worth a software cost. So just people picking the tools that suit them the most, I would say. This is really nice tea. I was complaining about how pretentious it was, but it is nice. It's pretentious because it comes in a big box and every tea bag's in its own little kind of container, and it's all a little bit not environmentally friendly, but tastes good. Excuse the slurping sounds. Yep, so here's Godot, good old friendly Godot, fun engine. Been working with that, having a bit of problems with font sizes. They seem to keep changing every time I open it, but otherwise, awesome engine. So that's been part of my day. Which technologies am I most looking forward to? In what respect, Jack? By the way, nice to see you here, Jack. And I don't know if you look anything like your little avatar. It'd be interesting to know. But in what respect? Do you want me to answer that in how wide a scope, Jack, on your question about what technologies am I most looking forward to? And then I'll answer it. And game development in the whole, just technology full stop. I'm not sure about Substance in Unity's editor today, but I think you're right that it's coming. Perceptual, I haven't seen. I'm not totally up to date with that. I'm sure Mike will be when he gets back from holiday. Sam Villa, while we wait for Jack Grice to just slightly direct me on his question, because I could go off in any direction otherwise. What's the most important feature Godot misses in the present day, in my opinion? I actually like working in a strictly typed language like C# because of the refactoring safety. But strictly typed GD script is coming, so I would say strictly typed languages for me. In the game development world, Jack, a couple of things I'm really exciting? I am exciting about. A couple of things I'm really excited about. One is real-time ray tracing. I think that's pretty amazing. You've probably all seen the NVIDIA RTX series of graphics cards. They've just jumped straight to real-time ray tracing a few years earlier than I thought it was ever going to happen. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty amazing. The thing that isn't right about current computer graphics, game graphics, is just the lighting. It's just however much effort they put in, unless there's a huge amount of bespoke work on reflection probes and light probes and and stuff and shadow maps and all that business. Unless you do a huge amount of legwork to customize the scene, the lighting doesn't look very good. The other thing I'm super excited about, I'm biased, well, I'm not biased, that's why I'm excited about it, is the idea of hyper-casual, easily transmittable mobile games on the web. The idea that I can sit at a bus stop playing a game and show somebody a QR code, which takes them to a website, and they're in the game with me immediately. The idea that you don't have to pay the App Store 30%, you don't have to wait for certification. All you do is register a domain, make a game, spread the word. I'm really excited about the ability to do all that offline apps, games and apps with web technologies. I think that is just, if we can get the engagement of apps with the reach of web, then that's a winner. So that's pretty cool. We're almost done with Unity. Do I need to go over to the Unity 2D course before jumping to the RPG, Marco? No, if you're focused on 3D, go straight to the RPG. I'll give you the link for that. Next question. Pritham again. I'm sure you heard about that Zenko went free and open source from MIT. Do you think Godot should be using Zenko's code to improve its 3D capabilities? I'd love to see that. Godot's 3D capabilities are pretty good right now, really quite good out the box. And for small teams like most of us here, you're going to need more artists and more assets and more time than you've probably got before you start stretching the limits of Godot. So I wouldn't worry about that. It's already pretty cool. ECS. ECS is pretty cool, going back to away from object-oriented programming back to functional procedural programming. Yeah, that's quite an interesting shift just when we've all got used to object-oriented. Problem with the good thing about object-oriented programming is it fits in human brains. It is a representation of the world. It's a bit like we represent the world. But the problem with it is it all came about, object-oriented programming. One of the reasons it came about is because some dudes found out that you could put stuff on something called the heap somewhere else in memory, and that would persist over there, and their objects or references to objects, and that would have some benefits. And then we've got object-oriented programming, and you can keep these kind of persistent things around somewhere else in memory. The problem is that is when you go and execute object-oriented code, you're not typically, you don't have the data that you need to work on to hand. It is not local. You have to bring it in from different parts of memory, and you keep getting data and function cache misses. So the fact that you're not making best use, basically the CPUs have got faster, much quicker than memory has got faster. And object-oriented programming was a good idea back when CPUs were slow and memory was fast, but now memory is slow and CPUs are relatively fast. And object-oriented programming is suffering from that, and it's better to be copying the data around and exposing data, hiding functions, the opposite of object-oriented programming. And ECS and the job system in Unity will start to teach you a little bit about that. Yeah, it'll be fun. It'll be a bit of a kickback for those people who've been in the industry or programming for a while, and a complete mind bend for those people who are new to the idea of functional procedural programming. But there's no one right way, right? Public variables, structs, data that's accessible to everything is fine if that's the regime you're working in. You just have to understand the context that you're in. Anyway, that was a little segue into that. I said I'd finish at 20 past. It looks like we are getting no mentees on tonight, which is fine. Saves me a job. Thank you very much to all of them. And I think what I'll do is end the stream. We've got another one in 1 week's time at the longest. We may do some ad hoc streaming in between now and then. We will just schedule it on the homepage of YouTube. Remember to follow us so you can see when that comes up, and we will also announce it on social media. RPG updates are going to be done by bespoke videos that Sam is going to be putting out. Didn't really need to record that Zoom session, did I? So they'll be coming through bespoke video updates through Sam. Mikey's away this week, but I'll talk to him about whether he does Blender streams when he gets back. Unity, we're not doing much Unity beginner stuff at the moment, but we are, of course, continuing to build the Unity 3D course and the 2D course. The 2D course is being remastered right now over here. I'll dive back into that. Yeah, happy to do other trips into general coding and C# and other topics. It's, yeah, all good on these streams. I'll do occasional AMAs as well. They're always good. And if we can find it, some awesome somebody who lives in the States or Australia who's sufficiently extroverted to stream everything they're doing and wants to teach a Blueprint course, an Unreal Blueprint course, then we'll probably be back on Twitch doing that, and I'm drawing parallels with Fortnite. But that's where we are at the moment. And yeah, I want to go back and focus on continuing to build new courses. Just have a quick look at the last couple of questions. Yeah, absolutely. Operation Gamma. OHO is not going anywhere, right? But it's just interesting. Like It's just interesting the way that things ebb and flow over time, and it just depends on, you know, the normal things in computer science: latency, bandwidth, naming, caching. All these sort of things are the major issues, and they just ebb and flow over time. So, okay, all right, guys, thanks for being here. I appreciate it. 16 of you by the looks of it, according to my stream deck, if that's right. What else can I tell you? I think most of you know about all of our links, so there's no point in sharing any of that. Do follow me on Kickstarter if you're not already, because I am bound to be releasing another Kickstarter as soon as we're on top of all the promises from the previous ones. We try not to release new Kickstarters until we have no more than 2 Kickstarters worth of promises overhanging, but the next one is the one I've been most excited about for a long time. Yeah, that's it really. Nothing else to report today. Nice to catch up, and we'll see you soon. Take care.